Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd. We continue with our daily lessons as we now come to the section that is entitled Ruqyah, incantation. And on the authority of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, as he states, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, certainly incantations, ruqah, amulets, charms, and tiwala are all shirk, collected by Abu Dawood. And at tiwala, it is a form of magic in order to separate a husband from his wife or a wife from her husband, and it's also called al-atf. And on the authority of Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, as the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he permitted, he granted a concession for ruqyah, for incantation, if it is from or if it is due to huma. This is agreed upon. So what is al-huma? Al-huma, it is poison that may come from a scorpion or whatever is similar to that, a bite or a sting, things of this nature. And on the authority of Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, in that the Prophet ﷺ would spittle upon himself during his final illness in which he passed from. And he would do so with mu'awwidhat, with incantations. And the meaning of nafath or spittle, it is to place moisture upon the tongue and then to blow. As such, it doesn't mean actually spitting in and of itself. Continuing with this narration. And then when his illness became very heavy upon him, Aisha states, then I would spittle upon him with those incantations, and I would take his hand and wipe his hand over his own self due to the blessing of his hands. This is muttafaqun alayhi. This is agreed upon. And on the authority of Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, in that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would perform incantations upon some of the people, and he would take his right hand and wipe over them, and he would say, Allahumma Rabbin Nas, adhib al-bats, ishfi anta shafi, la shifa'a illa shifa'uk, shifa'an la yughadira saqama. And he would say, O Allah, Lord of the people, cause this worry or cause this harm to go and heal this person, for you are a shafi, you are the one who heals, and there is no healing except by your healing. And heal this person with the healing that will not depart with illness and disease. Muttafaqun alayhi. This is agreed upon. Asharh, the explanation. Ruqyah, or incantation, it is to recite upon an individual who is ill with nafath, with spittle, and wiping over the area that is plaguing the individual or is painful to the individual. And this is also called al-azima, and it is legislated and it is beneficial by the permission of Allah. And this is the case when one is performing these incantations by way of reciting the Quran and reciting or stating the sound supplications that have been reported on the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the intention of healing, with the intention of seeking Allah to heal that person or to remove what is upon that person, insofar as or so long as these incantations are free of shirk and seeking rescue from other than Allah. Al-Fawaid, points of benefit from the section. Firstly, the legislation of ruqyah, the legislation of incantation, when it is performed with the Quran and with legislated supplications. Secondly, the prohibition of ruqyah, the prohibition of incantation with other than the Quran and other than legislated supplications. Thirdly, when the ruqyah, or if the incantation, if it encompasses supplicating to other than Allah, then it is considered shirk akbar. It is considered major shirk. Fourthly and lastly, it is legislated for an individual to perform incantation or to recite ruqyah over one's own self, and it is not binding that another person has to perform ruqyah on you or perform this incantation or reciting on you. We'll see you again for our next lesson. Hadha wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu ala Muhammad. Again, we'll see you next time with our daily lessons. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.